Today's video may touch on themes of cyberbullying, essay, self-harm, and self-termination. If these topics proven to be too overwhelming for you, please don't be hesitant to pause the video, take a breather, and go watch something positive to lift your spirits. You are always welcome to come back and watch this video on another day. This video aims to shed light on the issues and serve as an educational purpose. Viewer discretion is advised. And if you're currently on rock bottom or you're going through a lot right now, I just want you to know that your pain is valid. So is a hope for a better future. Your story is far from over and there are more beautiful chapters yet to be written. This lady, she goes by the alias 罗小猫猫 on social media, but in today's video, we're just gonna refer her as Kat. Kat was a Chinese influencer who had over 500,000 followers on Douyin, which is the Chinese TikTok. And she began creating lifestyle vlogs, dancing, outfit of the day, and sharing selfies in 2015. And soon, her enduring appearance and magnetic personality captivated a large number of people. In 2019, Kat met a guy who's very athletic, and apparently he's a basketball player. On a professional level, I will say. And he also does content on social media. Now, I know nothing about basketballs, but according to the netizens, they say he's very professional. He's like very good at basketball. But anyway, since his first name is being redacted, we're just gonna refer him as Z for Zhao. They hit it off right away, and not long after that, they became an item. And from time to time, Kat would appear in Z's videos because Z has a large following of male audience. So Kat, as that attractive girlfriend, she would put on some cute outfits and do some dance moves, and she brought a great deal of traffic for these videos. And it seems like this relationship was benefiting both of them. They all gained a lot of followers. And this is interesting because on the Chinese internet, there's a genre called CP-oriented. Have you ever heard of that? So basically, CP-oriented means netizens are obsessed, some netizens are obsessed watching couples completing normal activities together. Well, I never get this because I was never the target audience for this specific genre. And as a matter of fact, if this happens to my favorite content creator, let's just say they started inserting their partner into their content. They're in a relationship now, they're getting married, they're having kids, they're starting a family, I will unfollow them immediately. But don't get me wrong, if that happened to my favorite content creator, I would wish nothing but the best for them, if that's what they want. If getting into a relationship, getting married, having kids, starting a family is what they want, they deserve to be happy, right? But the problem is, now everything is different. I followed you because I want to watch you specifically, but now you're inserting another person into your video. That's a different niche. But I digress. Nothing is everlasting. And shortly, Kat discovered that Z was cheating on her. He found out the message history and confronted him about it, and he admitted that he was cheating, but he would never do this again. It would never happen again. Well, here's the thing about cheating. It's either non-existent or a ceaseless cycle. And once again, Kat had found out that Z was DMing his female followers and rubbing uglies with them. And it was also this time that Kat had diagnosed with depression because this relationship brought nothing but pain to her. So on the year of 2021, they broke up. However, this breakup was not cordial, at least to Kat. Z began talking maliciously and spreading rumors about Kat unscrupulously. It was almost like he was on a mission to destroy Kat, to tarnish her reputation. And he began saying Kat was an overly emotional and unstable person. During each of their argument, Kat would threaten Z, saying that she's going to harm herself. Additionally, he claimed that Kat was pregnant with another person's child. And her personal life was in a state of disarray. She's a prostitute. She made money off of selling her own body. 미쳤어. During their relationship, Z had garnered over 1 million followers on his social media account. And just imagine the influence and the power that he wields on his hand. All of his followers and other netizens were gunning on Kat, slut-shaming her. Who's the father? Was the person who filmed the video? And one netizen commented saying, "Is money really that tight? How could you sell your body?" Another netizen responded saying, "Oh, who knows? I heard she was already doing those kind of stuffs before they were together." Kat was inundated with the flood of hate comments, leaving her no option but to come clean. So she released several statements saying, "Regarding this baby, I was searching the whole world for the father. I repeatedly asked him to take the paternity test together, but he continuously lied, stating that he was in another city, when in fact, he wasn't. I told him that we could conduct the paternity test by using amniocentesis in blood. He repeatedly avoided me. I fainted inside of the train station. It was a Samaritan who rushed me to the hospital. And even by the time I woke up, he wasn't even there." You know why he didn't want to take the paternity test? That's because he didn't want to take the full responsibility. And he never contributed a single dime towards my surgery and aftercare. Yet he told his followers that he had given me 100,000 RMB. I didn't even receive a single dime from him. I was with him long before he became an internet sensation. I accompanied him every step of the way. I was there when he was live streaming, playing video games, engaging in sports. For every basketball game, I would be there for at least 5 to 6 hours at the court. Ask anyone who works there. I sacrificed all my hobbies and interests for this relationship. I even took care of him day and night when he was sick. You really think a girl dedicated so much time and energy into this relationship would be with other people? He maligned me and blamed it on my best friend. When I confronted him, he played dumb. His gaming account, I bought it for him. His designer clothes and shoes, they were all from me. He even took my PR gifts and pretended they were from his current girlfriend. He took my euros and American dollars and claimed they were his. And he even wanted to take my social media account after the breakup. I never uttered a single complaint, but this time, I've had enough. Kat confessed within the context of this relationship, she engaged in some foolish and immature actions such as self-harming and contemplating a permanent goodbye. I'm trying to be creative on the word choices here because apparently the internet is very sensitive nowadays and they don't like when people say, you know. But anyway, despite all that had transpired, Kat chose to move on. But it seems like the universe was never on Kat's side. She was plagued by a seemingly endless cascade of ill luck. Her second boyfriend, whose name is also redacted, so we're just gonna refer him L as Lee. He met her when Kat was at the most vulnerable state, and he used marriage as an excuse and tricked Kat into moving to another city with him. And Kat had even purchased real estate in that city. Allegedly, in the early days of October, Lee and two of his friends, they enticed Kat into drinking alcohol. Then they laced the alcohol with some sleeping pills. After Kat lost consciousness, they essayed her. By the morning, Kat woke up. She tried to ending her existence. And it was the hotel staff found out about this and rushed her to the hospital. Kat's parents later discovered what was happening, and her mom traveled down to the city, tried to take care of her. But Kat, she shut everyone out. And it pains me to admit this, but I can resonate. When a person is in a very depressive and vulnerable state, they tend to isolate themselves from the outside world. And the reason being is, I can think of a couple reasons. One is for self-protection. They see the outside world as too overwhelming and stressful. They don't want to deal with that right now. And they're afraid. They're terrified of being judged and criticized or misunderstood. And then it's the self-loathing. They feel like they don't deserve support. They're a piece of shit. They just wanted to rot. And consequently, they just withdraw from the society. On October 15th, 2021, Kat had posted a video telling her audience that she had been struggling with depression for a long time, and the caption reads, "This is probably my last video. Thank you all for the company over the years." And the video, well, in my opinion, I think it's very crucial. It tells the whole narrative to the story. So I'll try my best to articulate what she said in the video. Hello everyone, this is Kat. This will be my final video to all of you. As you are all aware, I've been struggling with depression for a long time now and was hospitalized for over 2 months. I've shared my medical proof, so you know I wasn't faking my condition. All this while, the happy-go-lucky persona you've seen in my videos is just the front I put up to bring some cheer to you. I always wish to seem happy whenever you watch my contents, but recently, I've reached my breaking point. So if you want to know what truly happened, please join my live stream. And I assure you, this is not for sales or advertising purposes.
谢谢你们陪我这么久，谢谢。
Not long after Kat posted that video, she started live streaming. She began talking with the audience about how she was dealing and battling depression all these years. And during the live stream, you can clearly tell that Kat was not in a good state of mind. She kept saying, "This will be my final life." And she even muttered, "He's not here. He didn't come. Why hasn't he come yet?" In the middle of the live stream, Kat took out a plastic bottle with the label Paraquat on it, and the bottle was nearly empty with only probably just the cap size of the amount of Paraquat in it, and she diluted with some beverages. And quickly the audience noticed, okay, this is going to the wrong direction. Most netizens started flood the comment section saying some positive things to Kat, or just saying like, "Stop, don't do this, it's not worth it. Kat, like, stop, please, somebody call an ambulance." But just a single drop of poison can contaminate a well. Regardless of all the positive and cheerful comments flooding in the live stream, Kat could only focus on those negative ones. The ones saying, "Is that really paraquat? That looks like pee. You're just doing this for the cloud. Drink it, don't waste my time. Drink it." And she did. She gobbled down the liquid and ended the live stream. And immediately she called an ambulance and rushed herself to the hospital. And according to her friend, because her friend was there when she was being resuscitated, she wasn't going to do it. Originally, it could be just a bluff or an act, but tragedy still happened. Everything is too late now, because paraquat is a very effective herbicide, but extremely toxic to the human body when being ingested. And even a small amount of paraquat can be life-threatening. And the fatality rate is very high, often exceeding 50%, and can be as high as 90% in some severe cases. When someone ingests paraquat, it rapidly infiltrates the bloodstream and disperses throughout the whole body, and inflicts irreversible harm to multiple organs such as the kidneys, the lungs, the liver, and gastrointestinal tract. The progressive decline in organ function ultimately culminates in multi-organ failure, which is a condition that is extremely challenging to reverse. The damage induced by paraquat include, but not limited to, pulmonary fibrosis, hepatic dysfunction, and mucosal damage. For example, once the paraquat enters the lungs and it generates a substantial quantity of free radicals, these free radicals trigger lipid peroxidation and other reactions that damage alveolar epithelial cells. And as time elapses, a large volume of fibrous tissues that proliferates in the lungs, resulting in pulmonary fibrosis. The process leads to a substantial decrease in lung function, making it arduous for patients to breathe. And in severe cases, respiratory failure may occur. This is also the primary cause of mortality among patients who got poisoned by paraquat. And you know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is there's no specific antidote for paraquat poisoning. And for most medical interventions, they mainly concentrate on decontamination, enhancing excretion, providing symptomatic support. Given the strong toxicity of paraquat, it is almost impossible to reverse. And for lack of better word, if you drink Paraquat, you will fucking die. And just like that, Kat's gone. After her passing, her body has been transported to a funeral home for cremation, and subsequently her remains were placed in an urn, awaiting for her parents to claim it. But get this, you will never guessed it. Somebody stole her ashes for a ghost marriage. I previously posted a video in which I talked about the ghost marriage in depth, so if you're interested, definitely go take a look after this video. And that video was actually omitting for today's case. But I still want to briefly discuss what this corrupt practice entails. So a ghost marriage is a wedding ceremony held for the deceased. There are two forms, and the first one being an arrangement between two deceased individuals, and the second one is a union between a living person and a deceased one. There were 3 people involved in this heinous crime. We're just gonna do A, B, C. So A worked at the funeral home. He was stealing the ashes. Then B was handling the transportation, and C was managing the clientele. If a ghost marriage was successfully arranged, they could earn up from 50,000 RMB to 70,000 RMB. That's how lucrative this industry is. And according to C's wife, Kat's ashes didn't sell because she didn't meet the buyer's standard. Like, what the fuck is this fuckery? I don't even know what that means. Again, according to her, she said even if she didn't sell this time, oh, somebody's gonna buy her. She's gonna sell eventually because there were other interested buyers. I am just at loss for words now. I don't even know what to say. Should I say thank God? Fortunately, nobody bought her, so her remains were still intact. But this should have never happened. Of course, these 3 people got arrested, but unfortunately, according to the Chinese law, the maximum sentence for stealing, insulting, or intentionally destroying a corpse, bones, or ashes are no more than 3 years. That is the maximum. And with the good behavior, they're gonna be out in a year. And by the time you're watching right now, they're out and about, probably stealing another person's ashes. After handling Kat's funeral affairs, her mom revealed to the reporters that she would hold accountable to the netizens who act on in the live streaming room. And I was hoping for death penalty, but we all know it's probably just gonna be a slap on the wrist. As I delve into researching this case, watching Kat's videos and looking through all of her photos truly ached my heart. She was such a bright soul who deserved so much more, and it's heartbreaking to even think about how her life was cut short so tragically and far too soon. My heart goes out to Kat's families and friends, and I hope one day karma will make its way back and chastises every person who pushed her to the very brink. What do you think about this case? I would like to hear your thoughts. Definitely let me know in the comment section. And as always, be safe, be vigilant, and take care.